All right, I want to dive straight into it with Palantir. Palantir is a company that's hitting it on all cylinders, both in the commercial and government space. The demand for what Palantir is offering is off the charts, and I promise you, by the end of this video, you're going to want to invest in it if you haven't already. First off, the revenue growth is something to behold. For 4 straight quarters, they've been on an upward trajectory, and Q2 was no different. They pulled in 678 million, which is a solid 27 jump year over year. Not only did they smash their own expectation, but they also left analysts in the dust by beating estimates by 25 million. That kind of performance doesn't just happen by accident. It's driven by serious momentum in both the US commercial and government segment. Now let's talk commercial growth. This is where Palantir is really shining. Their commercial customers shot up by 55% year over year, reaching 467. This brought in 307 million in revenue from the commercial side, up 33% from last year. And get this, in the US alone, commercial revenue skyrocketed by 55%, pulling in 105 million. What's driving this? An 83% increase in US commercial customers, now totaling 295. That's some serious growth. Even though their international commercial revenue grew a bit slower at 50%, it's still moving in the right direction. A big part of the success story is Palantir's AI platform, or AIP, which they launched back in mid 2023. Over 1,025 organizations have gone through their AIP boot camps, and many are now moving from prototype to production. This isn't just hype, it's real, tangible growth that's feeding into the commercial side in a big way. US commercial remaining deal value is up 103 year over year, and total contract value in the US is up a staggering 152%. These numbers aren't just impressive, they're setting the stage for Palantir's future revenue growth. And speaking of strategic moves, Palantir's partnership with Microsoft Azure is pure genius, especially for their government contracts. By tapping into Microsoft's cloud infrastructure, Palantir is able to offer cutting-edge AI solutions in highly classified environments. We're talking about top secret government work that's not just essential, but critical for national security. This isn't just about winning contracts, it's about being a cornerstone of how the government operates in the modern era. Microsoft's dominance in the cloud market, holding 23% as of Q2 2024, only strengthens Palantir's position. Now, on the government side, Palantir isn't slowing down either. Q2 2024 saw them pull in 371 million from government contract. That's a 23% year over year increase. The US government revenue alone was 278 million, up 24%. They even landed a massive 5-year, $480 million contract with the Chief Digital and Artificial Intelligence Office to scale AI across the Department of Defense. That's not a win, that's a game changer. Now, let me geek out on some more of the numbers, okay? Financially, Palantir is the best shape it's ever been. Gross profit hit an all-time high of 550 million, with an 81% gross margin. Their operating income, a record 105 million, And they're not just making money, they're doing it efficiently with a 16% margin. That's up 14 percent points from last year. Adjusted operating income came in at 254 million, and they're hitting a rule of 64, way above their rule of 40 target. Even with the high stock-based compensations, they're still delivering solid GAAP net income of 134 million, with earnings per share beating estimates. Now, cash flow is another strong point. They generated 141 million in free cash flow this quarter, with a solid 21% margin. And with 3.7 billion in net cash on the balance sheet, Palantir is sitting pretty. The remaining performance obligations, or RPO, are also growing, reaching 1.37 billion, up 14% from 2 years ago. This tells me that Palantir is locking in contracts with quicker revenue cycles, which is going to keep that top line growth rolling. Now, looking at the US commercial market, Palantir's expansion there is particularly impressive. In just 1 year, they've grown their US commercial customer base by 83%, and the deals they're closing are getting bigger. In Q2 alone, they closed 123 US commercial deals, with 96 of those worth 1 million. This shift towards larger contracts is a clear sign that Palantir is cementing its dominance in the market. Total contract value for the US commercial segment hit 262 million, a 152% year over year increase. That's a huge leap. Now, it wouldn't be honest of me if I didn't mention the risks. Palantir stock is not cheap, and with a valuation multiple of 26.3x revenue, is definitely priced for perfection. A lot of analysts are pegging an average price target of around $25 per share, which implies an 18% downside. The stock has had a big rise, up 80% year to date and 5x in less than 2 years. So there's real possibilities of a pullback, especially if growth slows down. One big concern is Palantir's reliance on few large customers. Their top 20 clients now average 57 million revenue per customer. And any drop in business from their key players could have a significant impact. Plus, the growth rate of US commercial customers is starting to slow, which could cap the stock's upside in the near term. If the slowdown continues, it could spell trouble down the road. But despite these risks, the long-term potential for Palantir is undeniable. Their stock is currently trading at $32 per share, but I am setting a 2-year target of $50 per share. I see them continuing to crush it. Palantir is a company that's firing on all cylinders, and I see it as a ride worth taking. Just be ready for a few bumps along the way.